Okay, in this video we're going to use a game instance to create some different menus and be able to switch between them. Now the game instance is really important because it's the one thing in Unreal Engine that will stay running through the entire game no matter what map or level you are on. So first thing, create a game instance. We're going to right click and choose new blueprint class, and we're going to drop down here where it says all classes and type in game instance, and you'll see there it is, and click select, and we're going to call this my game instance. What's important about this is you need to set this game instance as the one that's used within the game. So to do that, first thing we're going to do is right click and save it, go up here to settings and project settings. In project settings, when you go to maps and modes and you scroll down the bottom, you'll see it gives you an option for your game instance class. On the drop down menu you can now see my game instance, which means anything we use within this blueprint will now be used in the game. So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is create a couple of widget blueprints which we're going to use as our menu. So the first one we're going to do is right click, widget blueprint, and under user interface, and we will call this main menu, and right click, user interface, widget blueprint, and we're going to call this end game menu. So first thing we're going to do is double click to open up our main menu, and we're going to make a couple of basic things in here. First thing we're going to do is scroll down and we're going to grab some text, put that in the middle, and we're going to change the text over here so it says main menu, and we'll change the size up to 72, and if you click size to content, the box will go automatically to where you want it to be. Second, we are going to go up the top and we're going to drag in a couple of buttons, one there and two there, and we're going to drop some text on top of these buttons. So grab text and drop it onto the button, 1 and 2. So the first text we're going to have to say play game, and the second text we're going to say quit game. Now if we click back onto the actual button and click our size to content, our buttons will also change shape. Compile and save. Now we're going to give our button some functionality. So if we click on our quit game button and we scroll down to on clicked, when we click our quit button we're going to drag off and we're just going to say quit game, and off our play game button we're going to do another on clicked, and this time we're going to go open level, and the name of our level is third person example map. Compile and save. That's all we need to do for our main menu, and we're going to go back to our end menu, double click to open that, and same thing, we're going to drop some text in, and we're going to say game over, and we'll make this 72 again, and size to content, and we're going to drop one button in this time, and we're going to put some text on that button as well, and our text this time is going to say return to main menu. Compile and save. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to file and we're going to create a new level, and we want to create an empty level with nothing in it. Save the current map, and this is going to be our main menu. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our game instance and open up our game instance, and we're going to create a couple of functions in here. First one we're going to do is right click and add custom event, and we're going to call this show main menu. What we're going to do from here is we're going to drag off and we're going to use the isValid node. Now, off our isNotValid, we're going to type in create widget. And because we're showing our main menu, we're going to drop down class and choose our main menu. We're going to right click on the blue pin and click promote to variable, and we're going to call it main menu ref. Main menu reference, and we're going to drag off and write add to viewport. We're then going to get our main menu reference and drop it on the target, and we're going to connect the isValid over to our add to viewport as well. And lastly, we're going to get our main menu reference and drop it on our isValid. So this script, when it calls show main menu, will check, do we have a main menu reference? If we don't, we're going to create a widget and call it main menu reference and add it to the viewport. If we do already have it, it's just going to add it straight to the viewport. So compile and save, and we're going to do that again with another custom event. This time we're going to go show end game menu, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to drag off isValid on the no, we're going to create widget, and our widget is going to be our end game menu. Right click, promote to variable, and we'll call it end menu ref, and we're going to add it to the viewport. Let's hook up the isValid, and we're going to take our end menu reference and drop it on the target there, and drop it on the input for the isValid node, compile and save, and our game instance is done. We're going to go back to our end game menu, and we're going to have our return to main menu button. We'll click size to content, and we're going to go on clicked. On clicked, we are going to get our game instance, and when we drag off that, we're going to cast to my game instance, and because we've created the variable now, we can now call our custom event show main menu, and lastly we're going to write remove from parent to get rid of the current menu, and compile and save. On our main menu we have our buttons ready to go. So we're going to go to the level blueprint, and on event begin play we're going to right click, get game instance. Again we're going to cast to my game instance, we're going to write show main menu, compile. Now when we click play, first thing that happens is our menu comes up. If I click quit game, the game ends. If I click play game, it opens up to our level, and there's our player running around. Okay, the last thing that I want to do file, save current as, and we're going to call it main menu. We will call it main menu map. And I'm going to go and open our other level. And I'm going to pull in a box trigger. And drag it into the world. Lift it up. Now for this purpose I'm going to scroll down on the side and I'm going to make sure that the actor isn't hidden in game so we can see it. And when we enter this trigger I want to make sure that our menu pops up. So I'm going to go to Blueprints and our level blueprint. And because I have the trigger already selected in our level blueprint, if I right click, it gives me the options to add an event for the trigger box. So under collision, I'm going to say on actor begin overlap. We're going to drag off other actor, cast to third person, make sure it's our character that's running into the trigger, and when that happens, we are going to disable input so we can't move around, and then we're going to right click, get game instance, we're going to cast to my game instance again, and this time we're going to show end menu. So what will happen when we run into the trigger, we'll no longer be able to move our player, and then our end game menu will come up allowing us to return back to the main menu. Just need to collect our third person character into the target and we'll compile. And the last thing we need to do on our end game menu is not only do we want to show main menu and remove from parent, actually we'll change this. We don't need this in here. We can delete those. Once the main menu is up and we click the button, we need to remove the widget from parent, and then we need to open level and type in main menu map, compile. Now when we go in and click play, this should work. So our player can move around. Oh, in the box we can't move anymore. We're going to return to main menu. Our game opens up. When we click play game, we're back in again. Run into the trigger, game over, return to main menu, and we can also quit the game.